I'd like to show you one more thing about poultice. Sometimes you have foals or horses that are maybe in a pasture situation and you can't have them up to the barn to put a bandage on. Or if you have like a foal that has epiphysitis either in the ankles or knees and there's some heat in there and you don't want to put a bandage on them, this is what you can do. You just have we're just going to do a little kind of temporary bandage with some sheet cotton. I just have a little piece of sheet cotton. On this horse I'm going to do the knee. So I have it, already about the width that I want it to be. So I'm just going to get my hand wet again, get some poultice. And I'm just going to start smoothing that on the knee. I used to do this all the time on some of our foals that would get a little epiphysitis either in their knee or their ankle. And you wanted them to be outside. You didn't, of course, want to keep them up with bandages on. So this was a neat little trick. And it doesn't last as long as it would if it was under a bandage, let's say a standing bandage. But, you're going to get 3 hours out of it, 3 or 4 hours at least. So you just smooth that on. Get it all over. Sometimes a lot of times you'll see at the racetrack, when they do poultice under a standing bandage, they'll go ahead and do the knee as well, and then just let their paper kind of stick up over there. And that's fine too. But this is a neat little trick. So you just take your sheet cotton. You're going to roll that on there, just like we do. And this, you probably don't have to go around very many times. This is just going to sort of keep it in place and keep them from sort of getting it all over there. A lot of times they'll reach down there and try to nibble on that. And I'm just tucking that in. Tuck the top in, and then I'm going to tuck the bottom in as well. And then I have a little sponge. I'm just going to sort of get that wet like that. Get that whole piece of cotton wet. And what that's going to do is sort of act like, it's going to kind of set up a little bit, kind of really stick to the poultice. Just like that. Get it really wet. They've changed the sheet cotton a little bit. It used to it's not as absorbent now. It used to be to where you'd get that wet and that would just really shrink up right to the poultice. But there you go, and that's how it is. And this is a great one for your horse if he's on turnout and you don't want to keep him up or you don't want to try to put a spider on. This is a great alternative.